do some rooting with you guys. I have started a new project. If you've been joining my lives this last week and a half or so, I have rooted quite a few different dolls here. Not necessarily their hair, but we've done some eyelash work. We've done some hair rooting poofs, and we did complete an entire head. And now I'm starting another one. Oh my gosh. Hi, Psyduck. Happy Easter, Kiana. Psyduck says, I've always wanted to see how this was done. Well, you're definitely going to see this tonight. So let me go ahead and hopefully I stay in frame. I know sometimes I tend to move the bowl around, but I'll make sure that I am aware of what I'm doing. Let me see. I'm actually going to reposition because I want the head a little bit right here. So I think that I'm gonna have to pick up the camera a little bit. There you go. Yay! So today I am rooting a Reborn doll that was painted by my wife in Love with Reborn's 2011. And this doll is actually going to end up in her collection. So this is a collection, baby. Some of you might remember her because she was in my wife's collection before, but she had painted hair. And you know what? I just realized that I need to get a Band-Aid. Give me guys 1 second. Okay, I found it. Let's see while I'm putting my Band-Aid on. Hi, Angela. Welcome. Yeah, I cut my finger a week ago and it's doing so good. Like, I'm just barely starting to work right now. I'm starting my work day. I know it's kind of late, but I'm like, oh yeah, I need to put a Band-Aid on. Haven't done that yet. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, so like back to the doll. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. So yeah. Hey Andrea, welcome. Hey Sugar Honey Iced Tea. So happy you could join us. So yeah. If you guys hear that sound in the background, is my older cat. He's like, I don't know. He's just letting everybody know he's here. Okay. So wait, did I even fix the camera? Yeah, looks like I did. If I need to move it around, I will. Okay, so anyway, I rooted this yesterday. It's not a lot of work, but it did take me about 2 hours. So I'm like, where do I want to? So for those people that ask, like, do you seal the hair as you go? And by sealing, I mean I glue the hair that has gone inside of the head that I've pushed in with a needle. And yes, I seal as I go. I feel like it's the best way to do it. You make sure that you don't accidentally pull some hair out throughout the process. So what is rooted, what you see here, has already been sealed on the inside. So that's pretty good. And today I'm using a different hair that you guys have been seeing in my last lives. Today I am using Delta Dawn mohair. I don't usually use that hair because sometimes it's really hard to work with, in my experience. Like, if it's, yeah, sometimes it's really hard to work with. But this batch of hair has been nothing but amazing. That's the thing. When I used to buy her hair a lot, it was like hit or miss. Sometimes the hair would beautifully, easily, and sometimes it would really make me work for my money. Let me just make sure we have a good angle, guys. So, yeah, this batch is really good. And what has made the difference, in my opinion, right? I'm not talking bad about the brand, it's just my opinion. If she what feels like conditions the hair, because to me it feels conditioned. I'm not really sure what product is being applied to the hair after it has been dyed and dried and ready to ship to the rooter. It feels conditioned. I don't know. There's some kind of product. And if there's too much of that product, honestly, it's so hard to work with. So the less of that product, the easier it is to work with. At least that's what I believe. So this particular batch has very little of that product, which makes it such a dream to work with. So when I used to buy this kind of hair, I used to be like, please, 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 please don't have so much of that product, because if it does, I'm gonna have a hard time. But yeah, this is a batch of hair that didn't really have that much of that product, so it's been such a dream to work with. um I've had this hair for quite some time, probably 6 or 7 years. I already excuse me, I already used some of it for another Reborn doll that was in my wife's collection, Baby Ocean, if you guys are familiar with him. And I still had enough of this batch to do another doll. So who would have known it was going to be another uh, collection for my wife's collection of babies. So yeah, that's why this hair looks a little different than what I've been working with, because it's from a different mohair supplier. But look at how easy that's going in. So we get one hair per hole. Sometimes I will get two, and that's totally fine. It doesn't look bad at all, unless you really want one hair per follicle. But we're getting one hair, and that's another wonderful thing about this brand, is that when it is not very, conditioned, or whatever it is that she applies at the end, it roots beautifully. It roots one strand at a time. Even though I'm holding a bunch of hair, as you're seeing, it'll still pick up 1 to 2, but mostly one strands of hair at a time. So yeah, this is how it's done, guys. And as you can see, how much time it takes for each one of them to be poked in. And we got to do the entire head. Let me read the comments, because I know that I haven't. Hey Andrea, I'm not sure if I already said hello to you. Um, Hole in the mouth. I don't think I said hole in the mouth. Did I say hole in the mouth? Because if I did, I'm not really sure what I was referring to. Sugar Honey says, despite the camera angle, it is a pretty average size baby head. Yes, this is like your normal newborn sized baby head. Definitely. Does the angle make the baby look bigger or smaller? And then I have a direct top view of what I'm doing, so I can understand why the perspective of things just looks a little funny. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sugar Honey says it's a doll. Hi, Magda, welcome. Psyduck says, how long does it usually take for an entire head? About 80 hours, I would say. Um, and I'm just talking about a newborn size head. So the bigger the head, the longer it'll take. So I definitely cannot do it in just one sitting or just one day. I do it over a course of a week, unless I have other projects, of course. If I have other projects, then it'll take me longer, because, I can only do a little bit here, a little bit there. And yeah. See, like right there, I should have showed you guys before I pulled it out, but that particular hair strand had it pulled in 4 hairs. So I just have to watch out for that and pull, the other 2 or 3, depending on, how picky I'm being at that moment. Pickles. That's sorry, guys. That's my senior dog. She's 15 years old and everything upsets her. Everything upsets her, even her own body functions. I don't know how else to describe it. Let's see. Oh, hi Jackie. It's been a long time that I don't see you, and say hi to your wife. Magda says hello, Stephanie. She's in the other room. That's why you guys don't hear her. She's doing some work in the other room. But yeah, you haven't seen me because, hey, Gizmo, welcome. You haven't, hopefully this is still a good angle, guys. You haven't seen me because I haven't really been as active as I once used to be. But I've definitely have been changing that. I was a little bit more active last year, but I have some neck problems and it's really hard to do reborn work. It was really hard last year. It's gotten a lot easier these last couple of months. So that's why you guys are seeing more and more and more of me and more, dolls, just more work. But yeah, I was away kind of, just not as active as I once was. But like I said, I'm trying to change that. Can you please say Jordan and Eliana, please? I hope I said that right. Welcome. Hi, Allie. Oh, someone commented that it looked like a mega mine. It's probably because of this, right? This, I'm thinking, because I'm looking at the video from my computer. And it looks like, I mean, newborn babies do have a funny head shape when they're born because of how they're born, but that changes over time. But yeah, I do think the angle is exaggerating her head shape. Poor little Holly. They called her a mega mine. Hey, but that just means she's smart, huh? Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's see. Hey, Heather! Welcome! Sugar Honey says, I try not to be upset at my body functions. I didn't know how else to describe it without like, ugh. But some of her body functions, they scare her. I don't know. It's crazy. If she's not mad, she's scared. But yeah, she likes to make her appearance in the background. Let me bring this a little bit closer, guys. Oop. Hopefully that's good. Okay. I brought it closer because I feel like we're a little further away. Okay. And if I bring you guys closer, I don't have to strain my neck so much because I feel like the bowl where I have the doll head is a little far away from me. And I feel like I was overworking my neck. It's a good angle, says Psyduck. What color is the hair? It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I wish I knew what color it is because I don't have the original packaging. I'm going to show you where I had it. I had it in this. And it says Ocean's Hair. Do you remember little baby Ocean that was in my wife's collection? That was the hair that I used on him, and I didn't keep the original packaging, which I am trying to think. I don't even think that.
Does she sell chocolate brown?
I'm not sure. It's been a while since I bought from her. Steph says it's probably chocolate brown. I don't think her original packaging had the hair color, so even if I had it, I don't think that there's a label on it. All I can tell you, it's from Delta Dawn. But yeah, it's probably chocolate brown. I'm not sure. And then I bought it a long time ago, like 2019. So, like, if I had recently bought it, I would just go check my invoice, right? But I'm like, I bought it a long time ago, and I probably already deleted the email. Hopefully, you guys can see what I'm doing. I feel like today I'm struggling a bit with angles here, so I apologize, guys. I need you to make me a wig. I don't make wigs. I have seen people make wigs on TikTok though. That's really interesting. Okay, hopefully I worry about you guys not being able to see. Looks like you guys can. Ooh, see, that did not get any hair in. Okay. Don't have the head. Let me see. Let me move this. Maybe I don't need that diaper right there. Oh, I am. There we go. I hope the music doesn't make you guys fall asleep. Oh, the hair. Do you guys see that? It goes in and then it pulls right out. Okay, let me cut this end. Right here, I need some. So yeah, guys, this is Reborn rooting. Well, this is how I do it. A lot of people have their own techniques and it can look a little bit different, but this is what works for me. And you guys can see I'm getting one hair at a time. Like I said, sometimes two, but for the majority, we're just getting in one hair. Let's see. Beautiful work, says 241D Brown. Hi, LeVar Burton. Welcome. How long would that take to finish, says Andrea. It's about 80 hours of work on average, but if the head is bigger, it'll take me longer. If the head is smaller, actually, I feel like a small head still takes me a while because having a small head is so hard to. I feel like it moves around a whole lot more. It's really hard to root a small head. So yeah, it's about 80 hours of work, but I don't do it all in one sitting, takes me about a week's time to get it done, but if I have a lot of projects that week, then it's going to take a little bit longer because I won't be able to do a lot of work on it during that moment. Okay, now I got to put this little diaper right here. Got to move things around because I'm working on a higher part of her head. What did you call this? This, what I'm doing, is called rooting, if that's what you're referring to. So I'm rooting a reborn doll, a lifelike baby doll. And I'm just applying hair to it because we want the baby, or the doll, I should say, to look as realistic as possible. So applying hair with a needle will make the baby look more realistic than if, you add a wig or if you painted the hair. This is the ultimate realism for this kind of doll. We're getting quite a bit done. This longer strand of hair, you guys see, that's what I've rooted in this life. And we've been here for about 20 minutes, but I didn't get it started right at the 20-minute mark. Probably, this is probably like 15 minutes of work. But I'm going to cut it because I don't like it to stay that long while I'm working on it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's so soft, you guys. Ugh. I do love this hair. I really do. But what I just don't like is not knowing if it's going to be super conditioned or not. And if it's super conditioned or whatever she applies to the hair when she is done and, finally done dyeing it and drying it, and however she processes her hair, if there's too much of that, it makes it really hard to work with. Oh, we didn't get any hair right there. To pull this one out. But yeah, I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Is this like crochet? I wouldn't say this is like crochet. What we're pretty much doing is we're taking a needle and the needle is inserting the hair inside the vinyl, and it's pretty deep in there. Like almost an inch of the hair gets pushed in, which I love that because I can glue all of that inside of the head, and it just gives me a lot of security that the hair is not going to come out. The only way the doll will lose hair is if the hair breaks or it gets pulled and it breaks at the base of the head. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Micro rooting is the term, says Heather. There you go. Micro rooting. Sorry, I drew a blank. I'm like rooting, but yes, the more technical term would be micro rooting. Oh my goodness, that hair just does not want to stay in. There we go. And those white lines, which I'm sure you guys can see them, they're very, very faint. But you can see the little white lines here. That's my mapping. That tells me the direction in which I'm going to be rooting the hair into the vinyl. So I wish I could do this without having lines to guide me, but honestly, I just don't see how that would be possible. You'd have to be like, I don't know. You'd have to be able to like see it in your mind or something. I don't know. I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and I've never been able to be confident enough to say, yeah, I don't need any hair mapping today. I don't think I know any reborn artist that doesn't need hair mapping, although I could be wrong. But yeah, that's what those little white lines are. Now, do they come off? Yes. I do take the easiest way to remove them because I did them with a Prismacolor pencil. This is a pencil that I use in white. I just take a sponge with a generous amount of thinner, and then I just remove the lines. And it doesn't affect the hair or anything like that. Like the vinyl is fine, the hair is fine, and the lines come off. But I was removing them as I go, but this hair is so delicate that if I were to do it right now without sealing the hair inside and securing it with glue, the hair will slide out. It's so delicate. So I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to wait to apply glue, allow the glue to dry, And then I will remove the mapping lines. Let's see. So beautiful, says Sugar Honey. Thank you. Can you root my silicone baby, says Betty. You can definitely message to the website and I can see what kind of doll you want me to root and if you're okay with my time frame. Let's see. Thanks for answering my questions. I do have to go cook dinner, says 241D Brown. Absolutely. Thank you for the questions. It allows us to keep the live entertaining and go cook some yummy dinner. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you can catch us again in the future. I feel like I'm going to have to grab a little bit more hair since we're having a lot less in this bunch of hair that I'm working with. Okay. My bowl travels, so you'll see I'll start off right here and then it just slowly starts moving that way. My gosh, I feel like we've gotten quite a bit done, you guys. Honey, if you feel warm, it is warm.
Okay.
I actually turned up the AC by 1 degree because I thought maybe we would be able to handle it, but now I'm sweating.
Why are you messing with me? Over here thinking it's me.
I know, I heard you. I'm like, oh, she's feeling hot. See this hair right now? We've been doing so good getting one hair in at a time. And now randomly it just pulled in 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one hair or separate one hair with my needle and pull it down. So that's going to be the one that stays. And then these 2 extra ones, I'm just going to pull them right out. Okay, we're going to grab some more hair. I'm having a hard time. When you get less hair in your little amount of hair that you're working with, it gets harder to get the hair in. So this is the hair that I'm working with. Look at how pretty it is. So I'm just separating the amount of hair that I want to use. We're going to use this much. And then I'm just going to kind of, there's some loose, like some hair that is just, you know, it's just, you can just tell it doesn't want to be part of the group. So we're just going to put it to the side. And then what I'm going to do is cut the end so I can better work with it. Like that. Put that to the side, and then this is the end that I'm going to work with. Now, some people ask, how do you know which end to work with? When it comes to this hair, the end doesn't matter because it honestly looks the same. Like you can't tell which one is which one was closest to, like which is the end of the hair and which one is the beginning of the hair, if that makes any sense. I'm like, I don't know how else to explain it. There are some hairs that you can tell, okay, this is the part that, because this is from an alpaca. This is not synthetic hair. This is mohair. It comes from an alpaca, so it grows out of an animal. There are some mohair that you can tell, okay, this is the tips of the hair, and this was closer to the root of the animal. But I honestly can't tell when it comes to this to this brand of hair. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's so obvious with some of them. Okay, I was having a hard time letting that hair to stick. Sorry. Let's keep the chat clean. Oh no, what happened? I'm gonna have to go see. Oh no, that's not very very family friendly. I like to keep my channel kind of family friendly. um, Thank you guys. Thank you to my moderators for handling that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'm gonna switch out the needle now. I don't know if it's the needle, because the needles do dull out over time, guys. And usually, because it stops pushing in the hair. And I've been working with these needles for a while now. And it's probably getting to that point where it's like, they need to be replaced. The head is more of the enforcer, says Demorial. My goodness. Why isn't that sticking in there? Okay, let me grab a different needle. I'm having... Another tip or trick for rooting and making sure that... I'm actually going to remove some of this hair. I feel like I'm working with too much hair at a time. So varnishing your doll head is so important for rooting. Sometimes just having the head varnished, which, I always varnish my dolls, but I learned this when I was first beginning, is if you try to root a doll with a slick head, meaning no varnish, it's a lot harder to root than a doll that is varnished. Something with the texture helps push the hair in. It's crazy. So if you're having issues getting the hair in and the head is not varnished, you might want to consider varnishing it, and it might be the answer to rooting your doll. I am just having that hair just does not want to go. This area is just giving me a bit of trouble. Come on. Because I'm about to move on to a different area right now. Oh my goodness.
Penis. Stop.
Let's see. Samantha says, how do you have so much patience? I love to do this. I think that's probably the answer. I enjoy doing this part of the art so much more than painting the doll. Now, this doll I didn't paint. My wife painted this doll. She is in love with Reborn's 2011 here on YouTube and across other social media platforms. But I just have come to realize that, yeah, applying the hair is one of my most favorite part of the entire process, even though it takes hours and hours and hours and days, sometimes even months, but that's only because, I'm working on other projects as well. But yeah, I just really enjoy it. But right now I'm really not enjoying it because the hair is just not going in for some reason. Okay. Like when I'm pulling the hair back, it just pulls right out. We're just having such an easy, fun time, and now it's just being stubborn. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Gliston says this stuff isn't even like on my For You page or anything. I was just scrolling on lives. Why is this so like sort of mesmerizing? I think because it's different, it's mesmerizing. Something you don't see on a regular basis. But I do notice that a lot of people do stop to watch when I'm doing rooting, which is what I'm doing right now, inserting the hair with a needle. And versus if I'm just painting, that's just not as appealing, I guess, or it doesn't make people stop as much as this. I think people really are just intrigued by it. I could probably be here all day and there'll always be a few people watching. These needles are just not cooperating. Let me try this different one over here. There we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. This is so damn creepy, says Colleen. Hey, Colleen, I'm with you. When I first discovered the Reborn dolls along with my wife, and it was actually my wife who brought in our first Reborn doll into our home, I was so scared of it. So scared of it. I'm like, it's so lifelike that you just can't help but treat it like a real baby. So my wife had the baby doll in a baby bouncer, and she had it in our room, of course. And when we would go to sleep, I would grab a blanket and put it on top of it. Because I was so scared of it. And in my thoughts, I thought, if I put a blanket on it and it decides to get up in the middle of the night, it won't move because there's this heavy blanket on it. I don't know. I was so terrified of it. But eventually, that terror turned into me being curious about it, me holding it. Then next thing I know, I was a college student during this time. So next thing I know, I'm studying while I'm holding this doll. And before you knew it, I became curious about, how do you make these dolls? Where can I buy the supplies? How expensive is
China.
it? All the questions that go into getting into a new art hobby. And then, yeah, that was in 2011, and the rest is just history. My wife and I make them together, and we just haven't been able to put the paintbrush down, in a sense. We still make them. So, yeah, I can get why it's creepy, and the process of this is, it's kind of like, what? It's shocking.
But we do have a doll available on the website for those looking for one.
Yes, there is one Reborn doll available on the website right now. I'm combing out these hairs with my needle. There's a lot of hairs that I can tell they're just not part of the bunch. Need to set them to the side. Hit the like button, says Heather. Thank you so much, Heather. Yikes, just realized it was a doll. Yes, this is definitely a doll. This is a lifelike, realistic baby doll, also known as a reborn doll. And yeah, I've been making them since 2011 along with my wife. Oh my goodness. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. and checking out my art. And if you subscribe, thank you so much for considering that and, wanting to see more of my content.
I don't want to see more. I'm leaving.
You're
I'm going to the store.
going to the store.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I have nothing to do.
Let's see.
Actually, I have a lot to do, but I'm not doing it. I'm boycotting it.
Let's see. Aren't reborn dolls' purposes usually to help grieving parents?
No.
It reminds me of the dolls that people used to have that looked like they were in the corner in trouble. Grieving parents would buy them. So originally, the reborn dolls came into existence because people wanted to make or have the most realistic doll that they could have. So
Yeah, that's the purpose, is to have the most realistic doll in your collection, because doll collecting's been around for centuries, and everybody, as a child, you always want the most realistic doll, right? And at one point, Cabbage Patch thought they were really realistic.
So back in the 90s, there was a group of women that took dolls from Walmart, for example, just, your Behringer dolls, your play dolls, and they started painting them. They started adding blushing or the little veins or, adding paint to the creasing, rooting hair, as you guys are seeing me do. And it just really started taking off. It started taking off to the point where people started sculpting dolls specifically for reborning, for painting on them and making them look as realistic as possible. And the art just started evolving and evolving, and you started getting more people sculpting them, more people painting them. Then the hobby, as you guys might know, it has gained so much popularity since the 90s. And that's how it started out. Now, I know there are some people that use them for different purposes. There are people that collect them, which is how it started out. Most people were buying them because it's like, wow, look at that. It's so realistic. I want that. I want to own that. So they started buying them because they look so lifelike and started collecting them. And then, there are some people that started using them for therapeutic reasons because they are, they lost a child or had a miscarriage, or they're just lonely, or whatever their reason might be, which every reason is valid. But then they started collecting them so that they could feel better, so that they weren't anxious or,
But people use a lot of different things for
correct
therapy reasons. Just like the doll that you mentioned that stands in the corner, that was not designed for grieving parents. My grandparents actually used to make them, and they were just a decoration. That was doll collectors like to have them. They also have like peekaboo babies, the timeout babies, and they were just designed for collecting purposes, doll collectors. So people use everything to each their own. I mean, whether people really realize it, drinking coffee is a lot of people's therapy. So it's not people that use them for grieving, they know they're not real kids, and they know they can never replace a kid. At the end of the day, Reborn it's a doll hobby. It was designed to be a doll hobby. It is for doll collectors. And how people use them, that's to each their own.
Yeah, but I know that a lot of people, the reputation of the Reborn doll seems to be that it's a very therapy based. And while it is used that way, the art evolved, or the art happened because women were looking into making, or I shouldn't say women, I'm not really sure who it was, but people were looking into just making the most realistic doll that there could be at the time.
Yeah.
And they figured out that they can start painting them.
Yeah, it was just to add hyper.
And
doll collecting is such a huge hobby.
The art just evolved. because of that. And well, you can't help yourself. It looks so realistic. It even fools some of you here in the chat. You're like, wow, is that a real baby? And you just can't help, but then it just turns into a therapeutic thing for some people because it just looks so much like a baby, and it just starts feeling something in their heart. But it could be any doll. It doesn't have to be a reborn doll. It could also be a doll at the store that could fill that purpose for somebody. Like my mom, for example, she had bought a doll from Toys R Us, and for her she treated that like a baby, and for her like a real baby, and for her it filled in some of those missing pieces in her heart, because she has suffered the loss of a child, of a newborn, I should say. I have a little sister that didn't live past an hour after she was born. So for my mom, that helped her, and it was just a doll from Toys R Us. So any doll can really serve that purpose.
And I know the media likes to make it seem like the reborns are for only that purpose, but I've sold thousands of dolls over 15 years, and most of my buyers buy for
Yeah, a lot
collection.
of
They're just doll hobbyists.
a lot of our reborn collectors, our people that buy our reborn dolls, are definitely just reborn collectors. Is there like a map of the follicles, or do you just go as you want? I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm just seeing that my phone is like zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out.
It's because of your hand.
I am so sorry. You know what it probably is? I wonder if it's my t-shirt and it sees a little face. Let me move that and see how that works, if it stops doing that. I think it sees the face on my shirt and it's trying to focus on that. So you probably don't see it in the camera, and that's probably because it's so light, but there are little white marks on the head. I'll show you the direction. With this pencil, I went ahead and I did little white marks. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. And I'm following those little white marks as I'm rooting. Oh my goodness, how do I wish that I just knew where to place the hair. But I need help. So I have little white marks that will come off when I'm done rooting the doll. I will remove them, gently remove them, and they won't be there anymore. But yes, I do have some help. Welcome everybody that's joining us. Let's see. I need to scroll down in my chat, guys. I apologize. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time scrolling down. Sorry, guys. But welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I see. We're good. So Georgina says, se ve muy real. Muchísimas gracias, Georgina. Me da gusto saber que mi trabajo se ve muy real. But yeah, feel free to keep the questions coming, guys. I have no problem answering them. And you're definitely not being a bother. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with this direction on this head. But you know what? I think I'm going to focus on the back. I'm going to move this hair forward, and I'm going to do it gently here with this toothbrush. that I specifically use only for the dolls. Okay, I'm not brushing my teeth with it. And I'm gonna move the head a little bit this way, and we're gonna root here at the bottom. And hopefully you guys can see that. But you guys can see the hair. You see the hair right here? Hopefully my camera is picking up pretty good. See that? Now that grabbed way too many hairs, and that happens once every like 10 times or so. It'll grab one too many hairs. So I'll just put one to the side as you saw me do, and then this strand I'll just pull right out. My mouse is doing something funny. Oh, I was missing a lot of comments. Hopefully people are being nice in the chat, guys.
Welcome to the internet where everyone is not nice. Just ignore them.
Yeah, this is definitely not a real baby. This is just a reborn doll. I'll turn the head around
It's
so
not
you
a
guys
real baby, it's a real toddler.
so you guys can see the opening of the doll's head. But I'm happy to know that you thought it was real for a second, because that means that my wife and I are doing a really good job at making this reborn doll look alive. And that is the whole point of this art, I guess I would say. To make the doll, the reborn doll, look as realistic as possible. Now, my wife and I have been doing this for 15 years, since 2011. So we definitely have a lot of experience under our belt. And yeah, we just love to do this. She painted this reborn doll, and I'm just applying the hair as you are watching me do here with this needle. Is it silicone or plastic? This is made out of vinyl. Sorry, I see I'm way up in the comments. Oh no, you reported my channel. That hurts me.
You're one of hundreds. Guess what though? It won't get you anywhere reporting it though. YouTube doesn't care.
Yeah.
I report so many people pretending to be me, or I report heinous stuff because it's like, real kids and stuff. But yeah, good luck with that. You should find something better to do in your day than report people.
They weren't trying to be hurtful. They realized that, and they apologized.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, you read that thing later.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I said, I apologize. I didn't mean any harm, they said. I know.
Well, it's okay. Just know that when you report it,
I guess what we can learn from this is just give me a little bit more, just give it a little bit of more time and see. It's something that I have learned through life. I'm like, okay, I don't want to make a mistake. Let me double make sure that what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing is actually the case before I jump to making a choice, and then I'm gonna regret it. It's okay. It's one of those you live and you learn kind of moments. But it's okay. I'm sure that there's been other people that have reported my channel, and I hope that, unlike Facebook, YouTube sees that I'm a doll maker.
Oh, yeah, I don't even think they even care.
Yeah,
To be honest, in 15 years, I've never seen any channels being taken down for being reported. And sometimes you're
because
like,
YouTube is not like Facebook.
yeah,
Sorry, Facebook.
they're not a Karen.
No, it's Facebook is ran by
Uptight.
AI.
Yeah.
It's not that it's uptightness, is it's not ran by humans. It's ran by artificial intelligence. And so an artificial intelligence is not always right, as we've learned with phones, that we can have issues with stuff like that. It can make mistakes. So, which takes me to the point of my Facebook was deactivated because someone reported as
My dog group.
child.
It was my dog group reported, honey, not your channel. You were associated, though.
And Facebook did not take the time because it's ran by AI to see, oh, wait, this is not what is being reported under. It's dolls. So my Facebook account was deactivated. And now my wife and I's Facebook accounts were deactivated. And now we're wrongfully deactivated, should I add. And now we are getting legal help to get that sorted out and get a human review versus AI, which I know, good luck to us. But hopefully we can get it sorted out here with an attorney that we've been in contact with. I see somebody ask, what is this profession called? It's just reborn artistry, like how one of my moderators answered. It's the art of making lifelike dolls. Look at all of that we've gotten done. Well, when we started, we had about this, I want to say about this done over here on this side. And in the last, let's see, how long have we been on here, guys? We've been on here for 53 minutes, but not the entire 53 minutes have I been working on the hair. I would say probably more like 40 minutes or 45 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. I've gotten this done right here. That's pretty good. That's definitely more that I would have gotten done if I had been working here all on my own, because I get heavily distracted. I go on my phone a lot just to check what's going on. Usually just to check on my content that I upload on my social media, see if I have comments to reply to. So, yeah. But yeah, welcome. I will be going live this coming week and working on this doll. So if you like what you're seeing, and if you like YouTube videos like this or of painting or any reborn doll related type video, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. So you can stay in touch. Stay tuned for future content, future lives, future whatever I have planned for the future, because I'm trying to dream big with this channel. It's been a while since I've made regular content, and I've been changing that, and I continue to want to change that. And yeah, I just have some plans and dreams for this channel. So with you here, we can definitely make that a reality.
Thank goodness one of us has dreams.
Oh my gosh, Miss Negative Nancy over here.
I only dream of Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh, don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
My goodness, guys. Cover your ears. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. I know there's quite a bit of hair that might be covering that angle. But we are getting, see this hair strand coming up? We are getting hair here. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to have this doll finished. How long does the rooting process take, says Trisha? That has been the popular question of the night. Let me just have a drink of water. My gosh, have you guys seen this before? Can you guys see this cup? I don't think it was a cup before. What was this, Stephanie? This is from 1989. What was this?
Does it say Smuckers on there?
I
This
think
one might have been a cup.
that one might have been a cup, not
Yeah.
a jar for jam.
The jam ones were smaller.
Yeah, so that's
But
from
maybe
19.
it was a large jar.
My wife is gonna investigate because I'm using it as
Yeah,
a drinking.
it was a tall jelly jar.
So this we would get jelly in this, guys. Look at how cute that is.
Life is so boring.
My
now.
gosh, that's adorable. I know it's really close up, but yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you guys that jar. But anyway, back to the question.
Oh my gosh, there's cuter ones.
So the process takes me about 80 hours. So definitely not something that I do for the entire day. I like to, do it in sections, especially because now I have a neck injury from not taking breaks and doing this day in, day out. Now I've learned that I need to take breaks, so I need to I actually should be taking a break now, but I'm having so much fun here, being here with you guys. I tell you guys that every time I'm here, but I will be ending the live here soon. But yeah, so with having to take breaks, I only root like a couple hours a day or so, because otherwise I suffer severe nerve issues if I don't take breaks. But yeah, so it'll take me about, I don't know. So yeah, I said 80 hours, but broken down into a week or a couple weeks, depending on how much I decide that I don't want to listen to my chiropractor and not take a break. I'm bad. He would not be happy to hear that. He's even banned me from working. He's like, okay, this weekend, no working, Jackie. I'm like, no, why? He's like, I don't like the list of complaints you have for me this week. So no working. Did I listen? Yeah, for the most part. For the most part, I did. The Muppets is Lori. Hey, Lori's. Lori's. It's because it says Lori's Butterfly House. But I know your name is Lori. But now your name is Lori's, I guess. Jolie says, en español, ¿qué es lo que haces? So, en español lo que estoy haciendo es le estoy injertando, creo que esa es la palabra correcta, pelito a esta muñeca con una aguja. Esta muñeca la he pintado para que se mire lo más realística que se pueda ver. Se llama una Reborn doll. O sí, una bebé Reborn. Entonces, lo que hacemos es que compramos este vinilo que viene en blanco, no tiene nada de pintura. Entonces, después de horas, días o a veces meses, este está pintado por mi pareja que se llama In Love with Reborns 2011 aquí en YouTube. Duramos mucho tiempo pintándola y que se mire lo más realístico que la podemos hacer. Y ya el último proceso es injertarle el pelo, que es lo que estoy haciendo aquí en este video. Y mucha gente me ha preguntado que cuántas horas me cuántas horas tengo que invertir o en cuántas horas me, no lo puedo explicar muy bien. La cosa es de que casi no hablo español como antes hablaba español y a veces se me olvidan las palabras. Y no me gusta eso. Estoy tratando de practicar mi español más, pero bueno. Lo que quería decir es que para hacer todo este trabajo me toma como 80 horas o algo así para hacer este trabajo. Y no lo hago todo en un sentado, lo hago en días o a veces en un mes, dependiendo en otros proyectos que tengo que terminar. Entonces, sí, eso es lo que estoy haciendo. Es el arte de Reborn, que es pintando muñecas que parezcan a un bebé real. Oh, bet you guys haven't heard me speak Spanish. Spanish is my native language, but what I was saying while I was explaining to her what a reborn doll is, I tell her I don't speak Spanish as much as I used to. My first language is Spanish, but I don't speak it every day as I used to because I don't have anyone to practice it with. I don't have anybody to speak Spanish with. So, believe it or not, you do start forgetting certain words. You have to think about what you have to say next. It's the craziest thing because I didn't think that that could ever happen because, I mean, Spanish is my native language. It's what my parents spoke around me. My parents are Mexican. And so it's just crazy that over time you really do forget the language if you don't practice it. And I really don't like that. So you'll find me watching Spanish shows that I used to watch when I was a kid, or listening to Spanish music, or watching, soap operas, Spanish like telenovelas, so that I don't forget the language because I really have nobody to practice it with. It really sucks. I mean, my Spanish is still pretty good, but there are just a few words that I'm just like, what was that word again? Oh my goodness. Wait, did my thing freeze? Oh no, that's just my life. But anyway, guys, we're going to be wrapping up this live here. I hope you have been enjoying your time here. I have definitely been enjoying my time here, but I need to take a break for the sake of my neck, or I am going to be regretting it. But I'll tell you what, guys.
Don't be left.
One of the biggest improvements that I've noticed while working here with you guys, and I know this is going to sound crazy because my condition of my neck is actually not a very common thing that happens to people. From what I've learned, it's like 10% of society. But if I'm in the past, if I worked here for even just 20 minutes, I would be extremely dizzy and extremely nauseous from looking down. And that's because I have a neck nerve problem, which is getting better thanks to chiropractic care. But now I'm noticing that I can go an hour and feel absolutely none of those things. But I do feel other things though. I feel certain tingleness in my head, and that's just my nerve telling me, hey, we need to take a break. So I am a big advocate about taking break, guys, especially when it comes to anything that requires you to look down for long periods of time. One of the things that humanity loves to do and to look down is being on their phone. So you want to make sure you take breaks when you're on your phone. Don't be looking down for too long, because you definitely don't want to deal with some of the neck problems that I'm currently dealing with because I look down for day in and day out by doing reborn doll work. Look at how fast that's going. Yay! Well, next time you guys see me come live, there will be a lot more hair done because I will be doing some of this offline. But definitely come join me, guys. Come join me in my next live. Subscribe if you wish so that you can get notified next time I go live. Yay! I know Jelly Chan and Fake Real, guys. I'm so sorry.
Take your break and come back.
I know I've been here for a while and I need to take a break. If it wasn't for needing to take a break, I would stay here because you guys know I love to be here with you guys, but I do need to take a break. I mean, I could come back, so turn on your notifications. You never know. You never know. I love being here with you guys. I know I say being here late is better than never, and that still stands true. I'd rather have you guys here for a minute than never at all. But I am leaving. I am leaving. Let me give you guys just like a few seconds of this. Of this little. But yeah, look at how much we've gotten done, guys. My goodness. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you sharing your time with me. I appreciate you being part of this channel. I appreciate all of the questions. And I hope to see you all here again in my next live. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And we could be back. You never